Good afternoon, everyone. Great to see you all. We will start in a minute, okay? If you would like to grab a coffee or a tea, please do so. Or if you want to grab a snack or, just refresh up yourself, please do so. And we will start in a minute, okay? So welcome to our seminar. Great to see you all. We will start in a minute. So if you need a minute or two, yeah, please grab yourself tea, coffee, snack, whatever you want to refresh yourself, okay? This is the QR code. Please do register. Great to see you all, and we'll start in a minute, okay? Okay, so please do register. This is the QR code, and let us get started. Here is our topic. Let me share with you the PowerPoint of today. We will talk about asset creation today. So before I start, I want to remind you about your portfolio. Please make sure you are progressing on your portfolio elements. Remember, the deadline for your portfolio work is August 26th. August 26th. So that means you have more than 3 months to work on it. You still have ample time, a lot of time, but this portfolio will give you a lot of opportunities to design, create your future after graduation. So it will be tremendously helpful in drafting your life journey and design your career after your graduation. So think of it as a real opportunity for your own learning, for your own life, and do this project for your life, for your own career. So in the first part, let's go over what you need to do. In the first part, you submit a job application portfolio. That means you need to think about your dream job, find a real job advertisement, attach that job advertisement. This can be an internship as well, okay? Attach that first, and then create your updated CV for that job, and then customize your cover letter, why you are the ideal candidate for this job, and then your poster. This can be a creative CV or a vision board, whichever you choose. Okay, so this is your job application portfolio. It comes at the top of your portfolio. Okay. The second part, you attach your asset creation project. In this part, at the heart of it is your independent thinking and creativity. So you will take ownership of your ideas, your entrepreneurship journey or your artistic journey, okay? There is no one best way. You can invent your own way. You will be the hero of your journey. And we want you to experiment with crazy ideas, risky ideas, creative ideas, as you wish. These might be based on your hobbies, or you can create parallel careers for yourself. So what's important is you will find your own voice. The first option is 7i. In the 7i option, you can create your own creative assets. This is like a Kickstarter type of project. For example, you can create your own YouTube channel, or you can create your own podcast, or you can write on Medium, create your own blog, or you can create a music album. You can create your own fashion line, fashion brand, your fashion catalog. You can design clothes, let's say. Or you can write a book, create a book proposal, start writing a book. So whatever you wish to do in your life, start doing it. Okay, start doing it, experiment with it, make sure you implement it as much as you can. And then after you implement it, you respond to these 6 parts. Okay, you respond to these 6 parts. The maximum word count for this section is 3,000 words, but it can be lower than that. Okay, so the maximum is 3,000 words. So this is the artistic journey, creative journey. If you choose 7I, there's a second option, which is the entrepreneurial option. If you want to establish your own entrepreneurial company, let's say, your own entrepreneurial journey, this is your chance. Again, you can create your own company. But imagine that you are an entrepreneur and you are establishing your business. So this is a Shark Tank type of project. You will present a written entrepreneurial pitch. But we want you to establish this business and implement it as much as you can. Okay, this means, let's say, establish your website. Try to make your first sale. Try to sell as much as you can. So start your sales. Start practicing your craft. Start doing your business as soon as you can. Okay, and then if you fail, that is okay. You will reflect on your failures and learn from them. Okay, but what matters is you need to implement your ideas as much as you can, as soon as you can. Okay, and then after you do it, then you can respond to these 6 sections again. And the word count, remember, is 3,000 words maximum. Okay. So whichever option you choose, 7I or the entrepreneurship, you just do it, implement it, and then reflect on these 6 parts. Okay. The third section is imagination experiments, creative challenges. These are in section 12 of your module handbook. Read them. There are 11 of them. You will choose just 2 of them, whichever you choose. Okay. You'll just choose 2 of them and implement them in rigor, in detail, and attach them. In part 4, this is called Learning Adventures. You respond to these 2 questions. Number 1, what are top 10 things you learned from the lectures in this class? Come up with top 10 things. These might be like short paragraphs. Number 2, what are the top 10 things you changed or improved in your life because of this module? Again, come up with 10 short paragraphs. What did you change or improve in your life? Okay, so you come up with these top 10 lists. In total, top 20 things, yeah, in total. These will be each very short paragraphs. That's it. Okay. And the last part, seminar appendices. Whatever we did in the seminars, we already finished these seminar activities. You can choose and attach any 7 of them. Okay, you can choose and attach any 7 of these. Remember, you also have some options such as personality tests, well-being, etc. You can also choose these options that you like. Okay, you can choose from the options as well, as you wish. But in total, you should have 7 activities. Okay, 7 seminars that you choose. So these are the things that you will do. Please make progress on your portfolio as much as you can. Work on your job application. Choose 2 of the creative adventures, whichever are your favorites. Write them up. Make progress on your asset creation project, whether you do 7I or the entrepreneurial option. Please make sure you implement it. Finish your lecture evidence. Remember the top 10 questions, top 10 things you learned, as well as top 10 things you changed. Yeah, respond to them. And then finally, you attach 7 seminar activities that you choose. Okay, so these are the sections, and please work on them. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Let's say if you want to share a draft with me, You can share your drafts, or if you are confused, you can ask me your questions. Okay, and also remember your job application. Yeah, don't forget to attach the job application as well. Okay, so these are the things that you will do. I included some checklists for you. Please apply these checklists as you finish your coursework. So these are the things that you need to include. First, you need a job advertisement. This should be a real job. It can be an internship. Attach it at the top. And then your customized CV and cover letter. And then your poster, whichever you choose, creative CV or the vision board. Yeah. And these first 4 parts will be your job application. And then you work on your asset creation project, 7i or the entrepreneurship. Attach that. That will be your part 2. Part 3 will be creative challenges. You will attach 2 of them. Part 4 will be your lecture evidence, top 10 things you learned and you changed, improved. Make a list of them. And part 5, the last part, will be your seminar activities. You will choose any 7 of them. You need to choose 7 of them in total. Okay, so these are all the elements in your portfolio. That's it. Is this clear? So you need to include these in this order. Okay, so here is a checklist. I want you to open your notebook and go over this checklist. These are about depth and creativity. So please think about the answers to these. Look at these criteria. If you need to take any action, please make a note, make a mental note. So do you build on your strength and passion? Do you have a strong, clear voice? Do you reflect deep knowledge? Hard work, effort? Do you demonstrate engagement with the module? Do you demonstrate originality, creativity? Do you have strong visual elements? Do you reflect your personal brand, personal vision, hobbies, and interests? So if you have any ideas about these, please take a note now in the next 30 seconds. Okay, the second checklist, please have a look at these ones and then again make a note to yourself. Have you understood the expectations? Are your exercises rigorous? Is there evidence with external resources? Does it flow well? Have you edited, proofread it? Do you build linkages between practice and this module, your career and this module? Is there evidence for deeper learning, skill development? And is there evidence for entrepreneurial thinking? So in the next 20 seconds, please write down any action points about these. Write them down. Okay, let's continue with the third one. If you used any external resources, please make a list of them so that we can also learn from them. So just to clarify, you don't need to include any bibliography, okay? This is not academic references. This is just the internet links of the things that you use. Let's say you have come across some inspirational books or videos or websites. Make sure you provide the addresses of them, because remember, you are the teacher. You will teach us, okay? If you have come across some inspirational resources, make sure you share them so that we can also learn from these, okay? Are there any exciting things that you have learned? Is there an element of surprise or imagination or out-of-the-box thinking? Is it visually, aesthetically pleasing? Do you evoke positive emotions such as curiosity, hope, passion? Can you clearly differentiate, position yourself in the market? Is this portfolio clear of cliches? We don't like cliches. Avoid them. So in the next 20 seconds, please write down any notes, mental notes for yourself about this list. Do you need to take any action? Please take a note. Okay, let's continue with the next one. Is there a wow factor? Is there a niche? Do you have a clear, engaging style? Did you apply what you learned in the module? Is there creativity and innovation? Do you have some original ideas, great ideas? Is there evidence of brainstorming, generative thinking? And is there evidence of your strong brand, strong personal brand? And ask yourself the following questions. Would you invest in yourself? Is this profile, your profile, is it unique? Is it outstanding? Is it impressive? And would your portfolio still capture attention among 100 others? Would you still be able to capture attention? So please try to take some notes in relation to these. In the next 20 seconds, if you need to take any action, think about it, write it now in your notebook. This is all about wow factor. Just capture your ideas, please. Okay, let's continue with the fifth one. Did you learn amazing things? Do you think of yourself as an entrepreneur? If you were a startup company, would you invest in yourself, in your company? So let's say you are a startup. Would you invest in yourself? Why? Do you demonstrate extra initiative, going beyond the obvious? Do you have these 4 E's: education, aesthetics, escapism, entertainment? These 4 E's create a compelling learning experience. Do you have them? And do you have design thinking tools, processes? Have you used them? And if you used some tables, figures, are they comprehensive? So in the next 20 seconds, please write down your ideas about these. Make a mental note. Okay, let's continue with the final one. Is there evidence of asset creation for the long term? Are you creating your assets for the long term? That's very important. Do you go beyond the grade requirements to invest in your own future or in your own life, own entrepreneurship or own artistic journey, whatever you want to do? Do you go beyond it for your own life? Okay. Do you have some courage, honesty, vulnerability in your work? Can you show some courage, honesty, vulnerability in your work? Then this will increase the quality and depth of your work. And do you demonstrate independent thinking? So in the next 20 seconds, please create your ideas about these. Make notes now. Okay, any questions up until this point? Do you have any questions about your portfolio submissions and these checklists? I think if you go over them and if you follow them, then you will be on the right track. But if you have any questions, please feel free to send me email, okay? You can also send me your drafts and ask your questions. If you are curious that if you are on the right track or not, if you have any questions, if you are confused, please make sure you contact me, okay? And email me. And I will respond to you and help you, guide you. But feel free to talk now if you have any questions, or you can also type up, okay? Okay, so today's workshop is about creating your own assets. Why do we create our own assets? Remember, this is a poster that I shared. Why? Because the jobs are in decline, career ladder is gone, there is too much disruption, too much change. You cannot trust corporations. You need to take ownership of your career. You need to think and act like an entrepreneur, like an artist. That means you need to start creating your own assets. You need to master money, generate streams of passive income, and you need to create your own original fresh work. So that's why we are insisting on your asset creation project. This is your chance to create your own assets. And remember, most successful people don't care about making money. They just want to work on interesting projects. So you need to find interesting projects that you feel passionate about, curious about. Follow them. Do something interesting. And you will be happy anyway, because you will keep learning and growing. And that's what matters. And this will make you widely successful in the long term. But you need to treat this as a marathon. Give yourself a lot of opportunities for experimentation and failures as well. So you need to fail sooner and learn from your failures. And the secret is to stay persistent, even if you fail, even if you doubt yourself. There are a lot of excuses for not becoming an entrepreneur, such as I don't have any skill, I don't have any money, I don't have any connections, I don't know where to start. These are all excuses. So you can start right now. You can. Welcome to the world of entrepreneurship. No one will hold your hand. Entrepreneurs are alone, but nevertheless, you figure things out as you go. So you improvise. You are resourceful. You improvise, you learn, you grow every day. And that's what matters. And that is what Generation Z members are doing right now. Many members of the young generation, they are hustling for their post-COVID futures. And you can read more about this on Bloomberg. So there is a new wave of entrepreneurialism. Many people, many young people, they are establishing their own companies. And you can also do this. More than half of Generation Z members are expected to run their own businesses. You can also do this. Okay. New York Times have published an article on this. Welcome to the YOLO economy. What is YOLO? You live only once. You live only once. So that means as you live only once, you need to take some risk, engage in some adventures, and start to create your own artistic and entrepreneurial journey and learn from it. So you need to really think about your own assets. Your most crucial task right now is to create your own assets right now. So what are assets? Assets bring you cash benefits in the future. They are extremely important, especially if you want to be rich for the long term. So how can you create assets? You can create assets or buy assets. If you have money, then you can buy assets, such as a home. If you buy a house, let's say, you can rent it. That's an asset. It will bring you rent income in the future, right? So buying a real estate is an asset, is a great investment. Yeah, what else? Let's say you can buy some stocks of companies, buy some company stocks. That is an asset. Or you can buy some cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. That is an asset. Or you can buy some non-fungible tokens. You can invest in digital art, etc. These are all assets, right? But they require money. If you have money, you need to invest and buy these assets. Yeah. But what happens if you don't have any money? Let's say you have no money. How will you get rich then? Then you need to create your own assets. These are creative assets. Okay. For example, you can write a book, write an online book, ebook. You can create an online course. You can create a fashion brand. You can create your own social media following. You can create a new product or service. You can create an app. You can create a song, album. You can create your own brand or your own website or write on Medium. You can create your own artwork, etc. So you require, or you can create your own company. You require zero capital for these things. You don't require any money. You can do it right away. What do you need is, you need a bit of imagination. You need to use your imagination and a bit of consistency and hard work. So you need to run a marathon, work on creating your own assets every day, and you need to compound yourself, your investments, your assets for the long term. Imagine that you are creating your own renaissance. Start it right now. You can start it right away with small steps today. So if you want to establish your YouTube channel, don't wait. Start it right now. Do some 1-minute videos, shoot 1-minute videos. They don't have to be perfect. What matters is you need to start it right away. If you want to do podcast, start it right away. Invite your friends, start recording it. That's it. Don't think too hard, okay? What matters is you need to move. You need to create these right away and have a long-term approach. So in the next 1 minute, I want you to think about which assets you would build or create. Please brainstorm. Open your notebook. Make a list of at least a couple of assets, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different assets. What would you like to create? Make a list of them, please. Would you like to create your YouTube channel or Instagram brand or your TikTok channel or your Medium blog or your Kickstarter page, Patreon page? What would you wish to create? Would you like to establish your own business? An online course? Make a list, please. Brainstorm and write down your ideas. Please do wrap up your ideas. Try to wrap them up. And you can think about this more after our class. You can keep a journal, keep a diary, and capture your ideas every day. And my recommendation, try to create at least 10, 20 ideas every day so that you will become a machine of creating ideas. You know, your mind, your brain loves puzzles. The more ideas you create, the better. So you need to act like a machine and create lots of ideas. So your diary, your notebook is your best friend. Why? Because you can capture all your ideas. It is a seed catalog of all your ideas. So write your ideas, capture them every day. Try to come up with at least 20 ideas, 30 ideas. If you can come up with 50 ideas every day. Make a list. So we live in an imagination economy, and ideas are your currency. Okay, so here is the next exercise. What is the one thing that you wish to create and bring to the world? Please brainstorm, open your notebook, and brainstorm your ideas here. What is the one thing that you would like to create and bring to the world? Something fresh, exciting. What is it? You might think about your passions, your labor of love, your interests, your unique strengths, talents. Brainstorm your ideas, please, and make sure you move your hand. Imagine that your hands have their own imagination. Keep writing, keep creating your ideas as much as you can, and make a list. Make sure you capture things that you love doing. What do you love doing? What are you curious about? What are you passionate about? Make sure you include them. Try to wrap it up, please. You can continue, of course, after the class. Remember, you need to leverage your strengths instead of fixing your weaknesses. So make sure that you build on your strengths. You have an amazing set of talents, unique strengths, interests, passions. Make sure you build on them. Make a list of them. Okay. So if you do that, then you will be able to create your own category. And you can be number one in that category because you invented it, right? That's the best way. You have no competition there because it is your unique category. So try to achieve that unique category, invent that category so that you can own that category completely. You can be a monopoly. And that is the recipe for successful innovation and entrepreneurship. Okay, so try to do that. Remember, you need to create at least 300 pieces of content before you quit. Don't quit. Let's say you have established your YouTube channel. Don't quit your YouTube channel before you create at least 300 videos. Let's say you are writing on Medium. Make sure you write at least 300 blogs, 300 articles before you quit. Okay, don't wait for any return. First, you need a large volume. Okay, so work on creating this large volume. Work efficiently, effectively, with consistency and repetition. Keep doing, keep producing, and create at least 300 pieces of content. Okay, that's what Joe Rogan did. Remember, he created more than 4,000 podcast episodes, and then that's why he built an audience of millions of people who love his podcasts. But this was a long-term process. So you need to also think about your own game. What will be your own game? So as he created 4,000 episodes, then he was able to sign a deal of $100 million with Spotify. So if you are rigorous in your content creation, you can also create your own assets and make a lot of money, but you need to treat this as a long-term adventure. This will be your marathon. Think in terms of at least 5 years or 10 years. This is like creating your own renaissance. It takes time. So here's an excellent example. Flynn Blackie, he is running his own web design business. He is doing a lot of web design for a lot of companies. He's very young, 16 right now, but he became widely successful. How? He made a lot of deals and he designed web pages for a lot of companies already. So he's learning about marketing, design, cash flow, time management, all of these through practice. through experimentation. You also need to do the same. This requires a bit of courage. So you need to think like an entrepreneur and create your own content. These are the 20 richest authors in the world. Have a look. Many of them are famous. You know J.K. Rowling, right? And James Patterson, for example. He has more than 300 novels. It's unbelievable. Stephen King, he has written almost 50 books. So all these authors, they are extremely prolific. They keep creating a lot of books. That's why they can reach a lot of people. There are many readers. They can capture their audiences. I want you to have a look at these celebrities. This is the net worth of different celebrities. As you can see here, George Lucas is at the top with $10 billion. As you know, George Lucas is the creator of Star Wars, Star Wars Enterprise. So he is the richest. You can see some other names. I want you to look at this list. Steven Spielberg, Kanye West, Oprah, Jay-Z, Seinfeld, J.K. Rowling, Madonna, Celine Dion. Look at all these people. I want you to choose 3 of them. Open your notebook, choose 3 of them, make a note. Who might be role models for you in terms of their careers, their contribution? Choose 3 of them and make a note, please. Write them down. So after you do that, after you record 3 of these, make sure you do more research about their careers, their contributions. Maybe they can be your role models. You can take inspiration from their career journeys. For example, Matt Groening, if you learn more about his life, he is the creator of Simpsons, right? So maybe you will create your own cartoons or comics. So make sure you create some ideas and do research and benchmarking about these individuals. Think about how you might create and increase your own net worth and your own following and audience. Okay, now I want you to look at this list. These are the celebrities on social media. I want you to choose 3 of them. I think you are familiar with many of these. I want you to choose 3 of them. These are generally celebrities on YouTube. Some of them are on TikTok. Choose the ones that might be role models for you. Choose 3 of them, please, and write them down in your notebook. And do more research about what they do. And try to learn from them. They are all prolific content creators. And you need to also think about your own content for the long term. So you can take a lot of inspiration from these people. And as you can see, these are all young people. So write them down, please. And make sure you follow them. Learn about their content creation strategies. Do some research and benchmark their practices so that you can also create your own content empires. So these are the most followed creators on TikTok as of March. Charli D'Amelio is at the top, more than 111 million people. Addison Rae is second. Zach King, Bella Poarch, you see some others. So These are the leaders of TikTok, for example, and they create a large millions of followers. Let's look at Charli D'Amelio. She is now 16 years old, and she's the most popular teen on the internet. She has become the face of TikTok. You know her from her viral dances. She was a member of Hype House, Content House as well. So how much does she earn? Let's look at that. She earns an estimated $50,000 per post. Look at how much potential there is. Like if you combine your passions and talents with the world and share them with the world and show your authenticity and create your own style, do something unique, then millions will follow you in the long term. So I think this is a great inspiration. Let's look at these top entertainment names. These are the top names on TikTok. Zach King does magic shows, as you know. Many of them are, I think, familiar for you. If not, you can do research. And what do? You can benchmark again their practices. How do they come up with engaging content with their followers? Have a look and do some research. Let's look at the top dancers, dance list. These are the top dance personalities on TikTok. Charli D'Amelio, Addison Rae, and Lopez Brothers, and Michael Lee. You can see others. How do they do it? Again, you can look at their best practices. You can follow them, do research, and think about how you might want to create your own content empire and build your own following. Some of these people are members of content houses. You can learn more about these content houses. The biggest of these is Hype House, based in Los Angeles. They are living in the same house, share the same house, and they create these videos and contents on TikTok or on YouTube or Instagram together. They share the same space, and they are friends, and they build on collaborations and synergies in these content houses. The biggest of them is Hype House, but there is also Sway House in Los Angeles as well. And you might want to learn more about what they do. I think you are already familiar with these young celebrities, but you can learn so much from their strategies. How do they produce engaging content? And Hype House is now doing a Netflix show, reality show. So they are widely successful, and millions of people follow them. There are some others here, some other content houses. Privé Crew, they are based in Colombia. And Shelly House, they are based in Mexico. So they also have millions of followers again, and they work together as close friends. So one of the ways to gain large following is to collaborate with your close friends and tap into synergy and create your own team. But also think about your own life. What do you wish to do in terms of your own unique approach to content creation? Would you like to establish your own business? Would you like to be involved in some arts? Would you like to travel? Would you like to cook? Would you like to design clothes? What do you wish to do? Figure it out and start creating your own content. Think about your own unique ideas, contributions. Think about your own creativity. How can you come up with fresh, exciting ideas? And remember, asset creation is closely linked to imagination. So you need to imagine and then create your own game. You need to establish your own system of productivity and creativity. So this is your adventure. Don't copy others. Find your own adventure. Design your own path. Where will you be in 10 years? Dream big dreams and bring them into the world. So imagine you have 1 million words in you. Write every day to unleash them. Or imagine you have thousands of artwork pieces in you. Unleash them every day. That's the best way. Imagine you have 1 million ideas. So develop them every day. So give yourself the opportunity to do thousands of experiments. Here's a visualization exercise. I want you to open your notebook now and do some visualization. Jim Carrey, before he was famous, he wrote himself a check for $10 million for his acting services. He kept the check in his wallet for 5 years. And then after 5 years, he found out that he was going to make these $10 million on his first movie, which is Dumb and Dumber, the first big movie. So you can say he first visualized his success. He wrote it down, and then he became successful. So I want you to open your notebook, write yourself a check for 5 years after now. How much will you make in 5 years or maybe in 10 years? Specify the deadline and then write yourself that amount of check. How much do you want to make in 5 years or 10 years? You can decide on the deadline. Write it down, please. Write down your check in your notebook. Make it specific and sign it. Sign your check. And keep it. Keep it in your wallet. Write yourself a check and keep it in your wallet. And keep it until you make it happen. So this is a very powerful exercise. Write down the amount of your check now. Okay, now I want you to imagine yourself, your assets in 10 years. Imagine yourself in 2031. How will you create your own renaissance until then? Make a list of all the things that you wish to create. So please make a list. Here is my sample list. Please open your own notebook and create a list of all the things that you wish to create in 10 years. Okay. Please write down your own list now. You can look at my sample list. For example, I want to create 2,000 YouTube videos in 10 years. I want to write 2,000 Medium articles in 10 years. I want to write at least 5 books in 10 years. And I want to create at least 2 online training programs. And I wish to create an asset creation summer school hackathon. And I wish to make at least $1 million in 10 years. And I'm writing myself a check to this amount. So this is my list. Please create your own list. You can build on this example, but create your own list now. Write it down, please. Try to wrap up your list. Okay, remember your discourses on money are important. your subconscious affects you. For example, if you think that money is evil, then you need to change your discourses, because you will live in poverty if you believe that having money is evil. So you need to change your discourses. These are some sample discourses. I'm attracting more money every day. I'm ready to receive the wealth I deserve. There is no limit to how much money I can make. I live a successful, abundant, joyful wealth, and make them positive. And remember, you need to take some risk as well. You need to jump into the unknown. Remember, in all hero journeys, our hero jumps to the other side. What is the other side? There is a call to adventure, and afterwards you need to jump to the unknown. The other side is the unknown. You need to jump into the unknown, and that will be your adventure. And that means a lot of challenges. You will go through a lot of challenges and be transforming yourself as a result. So you will grow. You will grow yourself. You will transform yourself as a result. So you need to create your own life story. Think about yourself as a character. How will you have an interesting story to tell? You need to enact your story. I'm currently reading a book. It is called 27 Essential Principles of Story. You can look at the content list to make good stories. Principles of plot, character, setting, dialogue. You can learn a lot about storytelling from this book. And remember this article. Make sure you read it. You can click on the link here. What are 4 universal principles you can use to create your own content empire? Make sure you can Google this. It's on the internet. I wrote it for you. Make sure you read it and follow it. So it's all based on your imagination. These are the highest valuable media franchises of all the time. And what is unique about this list is all of these brands are results of somebody's imagination. Pokemon, for example, $92 billion value. It is all based on imagination. Or Hello Kitty, $80 billion. It's all based on imagination. Mickey Mouse, 70 billion. Star Wars, 65 billion. And you can see others. Harry Potter, 30 billion. Marvel, 29 billion. Spider-Man, 27 billion. Batman, 26 billion. And you can see all the others. Lord of the Rings, 19 billion, etc. James Bond, 19 billion. So all of these brands, they emerged out of somebody's imagination. Remember that. So you can also unleash your own storytelling and your own brands. All you need is some imagination and a bit of courage. And you need to create consistently, courageously. You need a bit of creativity. What causes creativity? You need these 8 elements: confidence, observation, humility, mindfulness, curiosity, resourcefulness, energy, and action. If you do these 8 things, then you will be wildly successful in the long term. So I included more resources. Click on the links to learn more. The first one is storytelling secrets. People like Elon Musk or Steve Jobs, how do they come up with stories? How do they distort reality? You can learn more about these storytelling secrets from this link. Click on it. For example, here's one of them. Story 1, I got up this morning, got my car, came to school. Story 2, I got up this morning, went outside, my car was gone. Instead of my car, there was one wheel on the ground. What happened here, I wondered. So comparing these 2 stories, which one is better? Any ideas? Of course, the second one is much better, right? Why? Because there is an unknown. There is a challenge. There is a surprise. So you need to make sure that Your life also has elements of surprise and challenges. You need to also provide yourself challenges and transcend those challenges so that you will grow a lot and you will learn a lot. Add a bit of spice and adventure to your life. There is a organization called London StorySlam. This will be on 26th of May on Wednesday. I'm attending this one. So I recommend you, if you are interested in storytelling, you can also attend it. The Moth is the organizer. All participants, they prepare 5-minute stories about reinventing themselves. A new zip code, a spouse, a haircut or nose, they say. How they come up with new things. They are telling the stories of their lives in this channel, in this podcast. So you can attend it. How do you tell your story? This is their guideline, the Moth guideline, do's and don'ts. You can also have a look at that. So if you are interested in stories, you can attend this and Google this and find this. It's on Eventbrite. I also included some case studies. Gary Vaynerchuk is one of the most successful entrepreneurs on the internet. You can read about his success story from this case. Have a look at this case study. How do you go viral? Can you create stories that are bound to go viral? It's very difficult, but there is an art to that. There is a science to that. Make sure you check out this link to find out more. And what are the principles of content creation? You can have a look at these 10 secrets for successful content creation. Kevin Kelly has a theory called 1000 True Fans. You can also click on this link to learn more. You can also Google this, 1000 True Fans, Kevin Kelly. These are your true fans. They will buy everything that you will produce. They can buy your t-shirt or book, whatever you produce. If you can find 1000 true fans, then you will make it. This should be your goal. Then these people will create your salary. So there is more advice from Kevin Kelly. You can have a look at his advice as well. These are all in your slides. Have a look. I'm reading Samit. He has amazing books, Futureproofing You and Disrupt Yourself. Both of the books are amazing. Have a look at his work as well. If you are interested in creativity, entrepreneurship, this is both of them are amazing books. I'm learning so much from them. You can also read them. And remember that we are living through a lot of transformation. Instagram, Pinterest, all these brands, WhatsApp, Airbnb, they all were created after 2007. So imagine what brands will come forward in 10 years. Maybe you will be creating some of these innovations. So work on them. Remember, this is the age of the entrepreneur. You need to create your own creative assets on the internet. Have a look at this article that I have written. You can Google this. Creating assets is like rolling 1,000 snowballs down. Again, you can look at this article on that. This is the age of the entrepreneur. You can read this book. It's an amazing book. Daniel Priestley has written it. He comes up with 10 challenges. You try to implement these challenges in your life to become an entrepreneur and create your own entrepreneurial journey. Okay, and I included a Shark Tank case. You can also watch this. Finally, there is a startup school by Y Combinator. Make sure you register. This is one of the best schools in the world on entrepreneurship. Make sure you register and learn about entrepreneurship. Thank you very much for your patience and best luck in your projects. This is the end of our seminar. I will see you next week. Thank you very much for everything, everyone. Bye-bye. And good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.